Employees this week were shocked to find that their new supervisors from Elon Musk's Doge department include recent college and high school graduates between 19 and 24 years old. One of the young men is apparently a former intern at Musk's Neuralink company, who goes by the online handle.
Musk was a fantastic guy to lead a government efficiency commission tasked with saving trillions of dollars in fraud, waste, and abuse. We have tremendous spat.
Democratic panic and warnings of a constitutional crisis.
Now we have learned that his team has gained access to something extraordinarily sensitive. The system that the Treasury Department uses to disperse almost every check and expenditure of any kind made by the U.S.
role. He's now been classified a special government employee. So what does this mean? Today in the Oval Office, President Trump was asked, why has Musk been given access to the Treasury, the payment systems, the information involving millions of Americans? The president answering on Musk to let people go that he thinks are no good, if we agree with him.
That he could agree to change your mind on the tariff?
Well, we can always, but look, what I'd like to see, Canada become our 51st state. We give them protection, military protection. We don't need them to build our cars. I'd rather see Detroit or South Carolina or any one of our Tennessee, any one of our states build the cars. They could do it very easily. We don't need them for the cars. We don't need them for lumber. We don't need them for anything. We don't need them for energy. We have more energy than they do. We don't need them for energy.
Tomorrow, 25% on these tariffs will go into effect tomorrow. 25% on Canada and Mexico, 10% on China. Are you expecting retaliation?
We'll see what happens, but I think, unfortunately, the retaliation has already happened. The problem with this whole idea that they're going to retaliate is they have already been taking advantage of America for decades. The retaliation is Donald Trump saying no more. We're not going to be taken advantage of anymore, and I think it's important the president is doing what he's doing. Now, look, it looks different ways and comes in different forms, whether you're talking about Canada or China or Mexico. We know that Mexico has allowed the facilitation of the illegal drug trade and illegal sex trafficking for years and has done nothing about it. If they want to be a better partner to us.
Tremendous unrest inside the FBI as prosecutors and agents who worked on the January 6th investigation are being targeted.
It looks like a wholesale purge of the FBI. As you know, already the 8 top officials at the Federal Bureau of Investigation have either been fired or forced to resign. Now the FBI is being asked to produce a list of every employee who worked on any case related to January 6th. I am told this is some 6,000 FBI employees. USAID employees are waking up this morning to an email notice telling them not to show up to work today, as Musk says he is shutting the agency down.
Trump is reportedly preparing an executive order aimed at dismantling the Department of Education. And many parents, including our next guest, say it can't come soon enough, as the nation's most recent report card, we told you about this last week, shows math and reading scores down even more.
The president was very clear about the fact that he cannot believe the failure we're seeing in our public schools.
Okay, so we all know that the schools are not working well. And we have heard Donald Trump say, let's just get rid of the Department of Education. You were there at that roundtable. You heard from a number of American governors. What were they telling the folks there at the White House they needed to do?
They were saying that parents want more choice. We've seen, on top of academic failure, this toxic soup of SEL and DEI and CRT. The president's taken executive action on those issues. And the governor said, give us more power in the states to be able to meet the needs of our communities. And let's help parents to put them in the driver's seat so they can make the best decisions for their kid.
So I say, why are we doing this? Why are we willing to lose between $100 billion and $200 billion a year? We don't need them. As a state, it's different. As a state, it's much different. And there are no tariffs. So I'd love to see that, but some people say that would be a long shot. If people wanted to play the game right, it would be 100% certain that they'd become a state. But a lot of people don't like to play the game because they don't have a threshold of pain. And there would be some pain, but not a lot. The pain would be really there. So the U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it too. We'll own it and be responsible for dismantling all of the dangerous unexploded bombs and other weapons on the site.
Mr. President, given what you've said about Gaza, did the U.S. send troops to help secure the security vacuum?
As far as Gaza is concerned, we'll do what is necessary.
So here we go. President Trump announcing a plan for the U.S. to take over, at least temporarily, the Gaza Strip, saying we'll turn it into the Riviera of the Middle East.
Lucas Tomlinson has more on what we know so far. Good morning to you, Lucas.
Good morning, guys. Standing alongside Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, the first foreign leader to visit the White House in President Trump's second term, Trump says the United States, as you mentioned, is going to go into Gaza and did not rule out U.S. military.
More than 200 earthquakes in 4 days. Over the past few days, tremors have rattled the Instagram island. Our next report tells you.
It's hardly a surprise that Santorini is on so many people's bucket lists with its pristine whitewashed houses, dazzling panoramas, blue waters and romantic sunsets.
My personal experience is that I have never felt an earthquake so strongly and with such frequency. An earthquake every 10 or 20 minutes. It's the first time. I have never experienced this before.
Dozens of tremors have caused loud rumbles and rattled Santorini, prompting authorities to close schools, deploy emergency crews, blare mobile phones with alert warnings, ban access to seaside areas, and announce additional flights to help people leave the tourist hub.